People often like to imagine what life would be like if they became absurdly rich. Some people would give to charity, while others would invest their newfound capital wisely. But a third group of people spend their money on extravagant purchases that flaunt their wealth. From ancient texts to embalmed animals, we're looking at the craziest things bought by billionaires. Leonardo da Vinci is arguably the world's most famous painter and absolutely the most influential classical painter in history. Works like the Mona Lisa and The Last Supper have become iconic across numerous cultures and time periods. What makes his work especially valuable is that most of it has disappeared over the centuries. In fact, there are only 32 confirmed Da Vinci paintings in existence. But Da Vinci wasn't just a painter. He also had interests in invention, drawing, sculpture, architecture, science, music, mathematics, engineering, literature, anatomy, geology, astronomy, botany, paleontology, and cartography. Now imagine you had access to Da Vinci's personal notebook. That's exactly what tempted Microsoft billionaire Bill Gates when he picked up the text in 1994 for $30.8 million. Written between the years of 1506 and 1510, the 72-page notebook provides a rare glimpse inside Da Vinci's mind, complete with sketches, diagrams, and early iterations of ideas. The text is written in Da Vinci's famous mirror image style, meaning that the words are supposed to be read from right to left. The words are written in an antiquated version of Italian, which requires extensive translation. Of course, Bill Gates doesn't speak this Proto-Italian language, thus he uses the book as a centerpiece of his massive library. After setting the world record for the world's most expensive book, Bill Gates has loaned the manuscript out to numerous museums in order to share it with the world. Damien Hirst is one of the most successful artists in recent generations. He is reportedly the United Kingdom's richest living artist, with his net worth valued at £215 million. Death is a central theme in Hirst's works. He became famous for a series of artworks in which dead animals, including a shark, a sheep, and a cow, are preserved in formaldehyde. The best known of these was The Physical Impossibility of Death in the Mind of Someone Living, a 14-foot tiger shark immersed in formaldehyde in a clear display case. While Hirst is extremely wealthy, especially for a visual artist, he is not the eccentric rich person in question. In 2004, Hirst sold The Physical Impossibility of Death in the Mind of Someone Living to hedge fund billionaire Stephen Cohen for $8 million. Cohen is known for his eclectic tastes and owns both a stake in the New York Mets and an extensive art collection, including prized works by Picasso and Jenny Holzer. And this isn't Cohen's only wild purchase. Cohen once spent $100,000 for Food Network star Guy Fieri to spend the day with him. There have even been rumors of a tattooed pig living in Cohen's mansion as another work of art. Mukesh Ambani is India's richest man, with a net worth of almost $50 billion. The engineer and entrepreneur is most famous for his unbelievable home, Antilla. This is both the most expensive and the tallest residential home in the world. The 27-story house has 600 full-time staff and is valued well over $2 billion. Shockingly, the house is only intended for Indian billionaire Mukesh Ambani and his family of 5, with all the additional space meant to accommodate luxuries for their enjoyment. It is also placed in one of the poorest slums in Mumbai, stoking controversy over its cost and wastefulness, while Indian citizens starve mere feet away. There are 3 helipads on the roof, an entire floor dedicated to servicing Ambani's many cars, a health floor with a jacuzzi, indoor pool, and ice room for the family to experience snow indoors, in addition to 6 separate floors just for parking. Among many other indulgences, the house has 4 dedicated rooms for hanging gardens, where residents can go to relax. Though the house is viewed as cruel and offensive by many, it is certainly an impressive property. Roman Abramovich is a Russian-Israeli billionaire businessman, investor, and politician. Abramovich is the primary owner of the private investment company Millhouse LLC and is best known outside Russia as the owner of Chelsea FC, a Premier League football club. While Roman Abramovich might only be Russia's 12th richest man with a net worth of $9.8 billion, he certainly has some of the nicest toys. For instance, Abramovich owns a veritable fleet of yachts. But the Eclipse is easily his most impressive superyacht and the world's largest by length at 163.5 meters. Known as the $1.5 billion superyacht, Eclipse's original cost price was realistically no more than $500 million. Built in total secrecy by Blom and Boss of Hamburg to custom request from Roman, Eclipse sports bulletproof windows, an advanced missile detection system, and a provision to escape via submarine located at the bottom end of the yacht. Fun villain gadgets aside, its other amenities are things such as dual swimming pools and 20 jet skis. Eclipse travels to St. Martin in the Caribbean each winter to pick up guests who fly into St. Martin's airport. The yacht then travels to Abramovich's home on nearby St. Bart's. James Cameron is famous for directing movies like Titanic and Avatar. Each was the highest-grossing movie in history when it was released, earning Cameron a $1.2 billion net worth. So what does Cameron spend his money on? It turns out he is an avid diver and has a specific interest in marine biology. That's why he picked up his own personal one-man submarine called the Deep Sea Challenger for $1.5 million. And he doesn't just use it for recreation. Cameron actually set the world record for the deepest dive in history in the Mariana Trench. The first human to reach the 6.8-mile-deep undersea valley solo, Cameron arrived on the bottom with the tech to collect scientific data, specimens, and visions unthinkable in 1960, when the only other manned Challenger deep dive took place, according to members of the National Geographic expedition. After a faster-than-expected roughly 70-minute ascent, Cameron's sub, bobbing in the open ocean, was spotted by a helicopter and would soon be plucked from the Pacific by a research ship's crane. And this was in 2012, soon after Cameron completed Avatar. Perhaps that explains why it's taken him so long to come up with a sequel. Larry Ellison doesn't just own a home in Hawaii, he owns an entire island. After visiting the remote Hawaiian island of Lanai, the billionaire founder of Oracle loved the property so much that he decided to buy it in 2012. The $300 million splurge got him 98% of the island, which includes nearly 90,000 acres of land, a 3,200-person town, and 2 Four Seasons resorts. And his home on the island is pretty impressive as well. The penthouse suite features 3 plush bedrooms, a drop-down television, ocean views, and handmade parchment wall coverings. Outside, koi ponds and a botanical garden of native plants add whimsy and beauty to the already lush landscape. Waterfalls and secluded dipping pools are spread throughout the outdoor space, carefully arranged to provide privacy. Activities abound as well. The on-site golf course was designed by former professional golfer Jack Nicklaus and features ocean views from every hole. Billionaire Bill Gates loved playing the course so much, he got married at the 17th hole. Adventurous types can head to the horse stable to sign up for a guided trail ride led by an island native. Ellison's personal favorite activity takes place high above the island, however, sightseeing by plane. The Airbus 380 is the largest plane ever manufactured. Because of its size, the plane didn't sell very well to airlines, but Airbus did find one particularly enthusiastic customer. Prince Al-Walid bin Talal bin Abdulaziz Al Saud is a Saudi businessman, investor, philanthropist, and a member of the Saudi royal family. With $15 billion in the bank, he certainly has his fair share of extravagant purchases. But the most famous is a fabulous souped-up version of the Airbus 380 that contains an acoustically correct concert hall, a stable to hold horses and camels, a 2 Rolls-Royce garage, a private steam room and spa, and flat-screen televisions in the floor. Additionally, the belly of the aircraft has a relaxation zone, which includes a Turkish bath lined with marble only 2 millimeters thick to keep the weight down. The plane will also feature several first-class seats for miscellaneous use. And believe it or not, the jet is worth more than $500 million. It's no surprise that the prince has such a luxurious taste, given that the prince also owns several yachts, over 100 automobiles, a configured Boeing B-747, and an Airbus A321. Amazon founder Jeff Bezos took to Twitter to announce the construction of the 10,000-year clock had begun on his property in Texas, with a view to encourage thinking about humanity in the long term. Conceived back in 1986 by American computer scientist Daniel Hills, the clock's mechanism is designed to advance far more slowly than your average timekeeping device. It will tick once a year, its century hand will move once every 100 years, and its cuckoo will emerge every millennium. Following the completion of a few prototypes, the foundation has now begun building a 500-foot mechanical version on Bezos land in the Sierra Diablo range of West Texas. The construction is presently drilling into the mountains there to house its components, which are being machined and assembled in California. The clock is valued at $42 million, making it the world's most expensive clock by some estimates. Horologists around the world are rejoicing at one of the most impressive timepieces in history. Have you ever imagined what the most expensive car in the world would look like? The most expensive set of wheels in the world is a diamond-encrusted, mink-furnished Mercedes SL 600, worth $4.8 million. The car was unveiled at a Dubai Auto Show to celebrate the 50th anniversary of the Mercedes-Benz SL 550 in 2007. The car belongs to Saudi Prince Al-Walid bin Talal bin Abdulaziz, one of the top 50 richest people in the world according to Forbes. Prince Walid has 50 cars in his collection, but this is by far the most incredible. To construct this sparkling exterior with 300,000 diamonds, 13 experts worked on the car over 2 weeks. Only 2 models were constructed, and the second was purchased by an anonymous buyer, leaving Abdulaziz to enjoy his dazzling new set of wheels. It's unsurprising that many billionaires suffer from an acute case of narcissism. All that money is bound to skew your worldview, and Sheikh Hamad bin Hamdan Al Nahyan is certainly no exception. He is a member of Abu Dhabi's extensive royal family and has made his billions through a multitude of business ventures and inherited wealth. But when Hamad grew tired of sports cars and mansions, he bought himself an island called Futaisi and carved his name into the stone. Futaisi already has its own resort and golf course, but the massive carving of Hamad in the sand will certainly put the island on the map. Hamad conceived the idea and hired workers from Pakistan and Bangladesh to complete the project, which finished 1,000-meter-high letters stretching along 2 miles of beach on the Arabian Gulf. To ensure that the carving did not wash away with the tides, Al Nahyan dug the letters deep enough to form waterways, in effect absorbing the water instead of caving in on itself. Written in block lettering, the giant Hamad is so large and deep that it can even be seen from space. Much to Hamad's dismay, he was forced to remove the letters in 2012 after a huge public backlash against his selfishness and egotism.